It's a fascinating process, and that's once a year that you get this chance. So as a winemaker, you must take your chances and make sure you get all your information and do your research and be spot on to identify the vintage and the trend in the vintage and then make a special wine.
Good afternoon, Hein. It's so lovely to meet you here on Zoom.
It was a privilege to talk to you and out of Franschhoek. It's a rainy day in Cape Town.
So you are on your farm there, on your wine farm, La-Motte.
Yes, we are in the Franschhoek Valley, and we are very close to Franschhoek. It's about 3 kilometers from the town.
Okay. So tell me a little bit more about the history of La-Motte. Is it a very old wine farm?
Yeah, La-Motte has a rich Cape Dutch and French Huguenot heritage. It was first registered owner was actually a German who received the farm in 1695. But after that, the farm belonged to French Huguenot descent who established the architecture and obviously the farm activities. The first wines were planted in 1752 by Mr. Gabriel de Toey. And obviously the name La-Motte originates from a small town in Provence, La-Motte. So in our family, Dr. Anton Rupert bought the farm in 1970. And obviously he introduced a major development and restoration conservation program at La-Motte. And I think that was the start of the leading La-Motte wine brand and tourism destination as we have it today. Obviously, there's a lot of historical buildings on the estate. All have been renovated and the vineyards have been replanted now over the years, and modern and viticulture practices were introduced. But we're so lucky. We are in the beautiful Franschhoek Valley. And La-Motte wines are globally recognized for the quality and obviously the La-Motte estate has won quite a few international awards for exceptional wine tourism offering that we are known for.
Well, that's amazing, and the fact that you say there's still some of the historical buildings on the farm. So how old is the oldest building?
Well, the manor house is 1825, and then there's this old house, the Veerpos is opposite in a small opposite the road, and we have Lavender Fields now there, and the Veerpos sort of the oldest house in the valley there. But I don't know how old it is. We just know that 1695 the farm was established, and 1688 when the French Huguenot came to Franschhoek, they all settled in that region. So we know and we assume that from 1688 there were people on the farm there.
Mm-hmm. But now people visiting La-Motte now, you said that you won awards. What is it at La-Motte that people come to see, except for the wines?
Yeah, with our French Huguenot heritage, obviously it was always inspired by the elegance of French wines. And when we then started to make the modern La-Motte wine, we sort of follow the path of the French style of wine. We only produced the noble cultivars and we source vineyards from Franschhoek, but we have also farms in other regions, more cooler regions. So we in Elgin, we have in Bot River, and then Elam, the most southern point in Africa, we also have vineyards. So we're passionate about, obviously, Sauvignon Blanc, from a white varietal. We have Chardonnay on the farm at La-Motte. We are passionate about Shiraz and Shiraz blends. Other than the La-Motte Shiraz, we also produce 2 round-style blends, Shiraz Viognier, and also our signature wine is our Hanley R. And we recently introduced a Provence-inspired rosé called Vin de Joie, and that's a blend between Grenache, Mourvedre, and Shiraz. In our minds, La-Motte wines, regardless of the vintage, have to be classic, elegant, exceptional partners for food and consistent in quality.
Mm-hmm. And you said that you have the Lavender Fields as well. Is that also a part of the sort of the tourist attraction, or what is that for?
Yeah, we don't farm only with vineyards. La-Motte it's a sustainable project that we run, and we also have essential oils that we farm with. And part of the essential oil products are the natural Cape fynbos, where you have the proteas, kingpushers, and then also blushing brides. And then we planted lavender and lavandine, rose geranium, and kapokbos, and we produced essential oil from these products that we sell to the perfume houses.
Oh, I see. Okay. I love the blushing brides. I mean, this is very typical to South Africa, isn't it?
Yeah, the Franschhoek blushing bride is a very unique plant that's only been found in the mountains around Franschhoek. So it's very unique to Franschhoek.
Yeah, but that's amazing, and it's wonderful that you have this sort of idea to keep it natural to the farm, to the heritage, and to the almost the French way of doing it. So, and you mentioned that the wines are also very much inspired by the way the French making of wine.
Yeah, that we always tend to go into the French style, and that's more lighter. It's lower alcohol. Not so much upfront fruit as the new world, where you have very high alcohols and a lot of fruit. So we tend to go much more to the cooler regions to plant our vineyards and then make wines from those.
Oh, I see. Yeah. But now, Hein, tell me, how did you get into the wine industry? You're a winemaker as well.
Yes, I'm obviously a winemaker. Studied winemaking. My father had a small wine farm, and I grew up on a farm. And for me, obviously, the process of winemaking is very creative. As a winemaker, you get every year only one chance to make a special wine. And this is influenced by so many things. Starting with the soil, the area, clones, the cultivar, the rain, and temperature through the year. And then obviously the timing of harvest and the process of to fermentation. And then you start with this whole winemaking skill till you have the wine in the bottle. It's a fascinating process. And that's once a year that you get this chance. So as a winemaker, you must take your chances and make sure you get all your information and do your research and be spot on to identify the vintage and the trend in the vintage and then make a special wine. I think that's part of what inspired me to become a winemaker.
I talk to many winemakers and ask the question, how much is wine? It's a science, we know that, but it's also, like you say, it's a creative process. So it's actually a form of art. So every winemaker, the wine is almost like his own signature or his own type of style.
I think I want to follow much more because wine is a natural product. So the more we can find a vine that's in balance through the right clones and the right soil and the right amount of water and everything that you give the vine to be very much in balance, you will get the best fruit, and the berries will be in balance from a pH point of view, acidity, and that also gives you the best chance to make a very stable wine that will last for for many years.
Mm. But now on La-Motte, you also have a theater and you also have art exhibitions. Is that right?
Yeah, I think our philosophy from the beginning is not only to sell a product, but we want to sell an experience, and that's much more than just a bottle of wine that you drink. And I think the success of the offering lies in the fact that we did generate these experiences, and based on the passion of the family. We love our conservation on a beautiful mountainside hike that we have. The passion for sustainability is really a thread through the whole management, complete management and experience. We invite people to enjoy our love for art with exceptional exhibitions, our sculpture work. We have classical music concerts every month on the farm. And of course, there's the beauty of combining the food and wine experiences. So we have the restaurant on the farm and obviously award-winning pairings that we published in the Cape Winelands cuisine book that we have, that we research about the cuisine of the region. And then we share this passion of food and wine with people visiting us in very interesting ways. For me, the heart of the offering is the Cape Winelands hospitality. The meeting of South African people. If you haven't been to South Africa, you will fall in love with the people that you meet here. They will definitely let you feel welcome, and then the experiences that we all have to offer on all the different farms.
Yeah, I think we almost always connect wine and food, and this gathering of people together. So that is true, that it has to do with hospitality as well.
Yeah, we at La-Motte now, even now after all the COVID and restrictions and whatever, we're busy with extensive renovations, building a new restaurant on the farm and changing the existing one to a complete new offering that we feel must be much more accessible to the normal family that's visiting La-Motte. Not that the old one wasn't. The old one, the previous one was a bit more exclusive in fine dining. And we feel we have to move on into a much more relaxed eating and experience for the whole family. So we're busy with the whole renovation process now.
Well, that's wonderful that, that you can see that for the future, because I think also we have during COVID times discovered how much family and friends and being together mean to people.
Yeah, it was a very difficult period the past 3 years, something that we never saw coming, and I think we pass it now, and we are living normal again, and people want to go out, people want to experience, people want to feel new things and see new things. So people must come and visit La-Motte.
Well, you've been in the wine industry for quite a while now, and I've also been reading about the industry in South Africa a little bit. But how do you see the wine industry in South Africa with all the young winemakers coming up now and doing their own thing a little bit more independently?
Yeah, it's a very difficult time in business life, I would say. But I would like to see South African wine industry become a sustainable business on all fronts, from a production to the experience and tourism side. In October, Wines of South Africa is hosting the International Trade Show in Cape Town, with a theme of sustainability 360 degrees. Now, sustainability when it comes to people, place, and prosperity, we have come such a long way when it comes to quality and style and producing wines through across a wide variety, from those early everyday quality wines to exceptional site-specific interesting bottles. South Africa is a very interesting country with with the climate, Atlantic Ocean on one side, Indian Ocean on the other side, cold ocean, hot, warmer ocean on the other side, all the mountains. We have such diverse and exciting terroir. But we need to farm in a way that's environmentally friendly to maintain that diversity. So we have, I think we have a unique and exciting people in the wine business now, with young winemakers traveling all around the world, and they all want to make these very exceptional new wines. And for me, that is the beauty of South African wine industry, with all the new plantings going on into new vineyards, virgin soil that haven't been planted before.
And what South Africa is also much on the forefront when it comes to the old vines and the old wine projects. So, how do you feel about that, or what is your opinion about that?
I think we are really privileged to have old wines available in South Africa, and some of the wines are up to 100 years old, and mainly in the old times were planted the Chenin Blanc, Cinsault on the red side, and then Claret Blanche, and there's quite a few other cultivars that's not well known. So we are really privileged that the winemakers decided not to go on an economical view of making a place for new vineyards that give you a bit better crop, but rather keep these old wines and trying to make really special wines of them. And I think the whole project of preserving the vineyards and then trying to make really footprint special wines of them with exciting new young winemakers. I think that in itself must energize people that want to drink really good wine.
But now, Hein, tell me, what are your wishes for the future? How do you see La-Motte in the future in the wine industry?
Well, other than a successful and sustainable wine industry, that tourism obviously get back to its pre-COVID glory, and even better, because we in the tourism business, and we have such an incredible tourism potential around the Western Cape, close to Cape Town. People come out, and on each of the different wine farms, you will find very unique experiences, very authentic experiences, and very lovely people that will make it friendly and let you feel welcome. So I hope for South Africa to get the support from our international audience. But also from our own government to really develop and help develop the potential that we have. We have exceptional human capital, incredible natural beauty, and brilliant produce, but we need a secure environment and growing economy. And if you don't have a growing economy, then you will not get to the potential.
Yeah, I heard also that that there are many vineyards being taken out, or that there's some planning done for housing to take vineyards out instead of developing them as farms. So
I think we as the industry, we have to also play with the time that we are living in, because sometimes you have to look at the economy, and you have to look at economic side of the business. If it's not viable, then you need to scale it down, and you need to restructure it maybe in a different model. And that's why the Old Vine project for me is such a very interesting project that exactly allow that, that you can even if it doesn't make financial sense, you can still keep that and build on it and really make people exciting about South Africa and obviously about your brand.
Yeah, no, that's right. Well, that's very positive. That's a very positive outlook.
Yeah, well, I'm always positive, and I'm looking at the positive side and the potential going forward. And as I said to you, there's no other wine country in the world that can claim that they can plant every year on new land where there haven't been vineyards before. And we as winemakers are sitting with this huge opportunity of making wine from grapes that's coming in that we need to know, because there's no history and there's no track record, and we can make exciting wines from it.
Yeah. No, that's true. But now, Hein, this was so lovely to talk to you. I just have one more question for you.
Yes.
Could you do a shout out for your favorite restaurant? You probably visit many restaurants over the world, but do you have one favorite?
Yeah, I think we are privileged, because as winemakers we do travel all around the world, and I've visited really exciting wines restaurants from in Asia. For instance, in Japan, there was really interesting restaurants in Hong Kong, China, even Vietnam was very interesting. But if I must name one, because of our food heritage, and when we wrote the book and researched the book about traditional South African food, we have to look at Europe, because we are coming from the people came from Europe, and then we inherited a combination of food from Europe, from the Dutch, the German, the Eastern Europe side. And that's what we have in South Africa at the moment. So it was very interesting for me to visit Noma, for instance, as being nominated as one of the top restaurants in the world over a couple of years now, and to see how they are really looking at the detail of preparing and making food, really exciting for people to come. And so it's not just to have a plate of food. It's like an artwork that you are. It's like winemaking. It's a new field. So for me, that was really exciting. So Noma on the one side, but then in South Africa, we also have our own Michelin star chef Jan Hendrik van Westhuizen. And he does have a restaurant in Nice, and we've been to the restaurant in Nice. And then he opened up a restaurant in Kalahari, in Swale. And it's in the Kalahari, and it's the most fascinating restaurant that you can ever go to. So for me, yes, okay, obviously Noma is number one in the world. But I think the jewel that you will never find that experience anywhere else in the world, in the Kalahari, having the best food in the world with Jan Hendrik van Westhuizen.
That must be amazing. Just the setting, I can just imagine.
Yeah, it's wonderful. You can Google Swale and Jan Hendrik van Westhuizen. It's a fascinating concept. And if you ever have a chance to come to South Africa and you have time, that's the one of the places you have to go to. It's very exclusive. It's not big. I think they accommodate only about 20 people or 15 people. It's not big numbers. So. But that's for me is a very good experience.
That's it. I'll definitely put the link in the description of his restaurant.
Yeah, wonderful.
Yeah. Hein, this was so wonderful to talk to you, and thank you so much for your time. And I'm coming to visit you when I come to South Africa. I want to do the La-Motte experience.
Yeah, please come, and I'm looking forward to welcome you in South Africa and show you around at La-Motte, obviously, but also in Franschhoek. Franschhoek, we are so privileged to live in one of the most beautiful valleys in the world. It used to be called Elephant Corner, and the French came there and they settled down and they call it French Corner. Today it's Franschhoek, Franschhoek. So it's a fascinating area. Where in the olden days it was the Olifantshoek, where the elephants roamed many years ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. So now it's full of vineyards, no place for elephants anymore.
No, it's now only vineyards and a lot of art places, and it's a fascinating small valley. So it's one of the places to come and visit when you come to South Africa.
Well, I'm going to actually put the link of the France Hoek tourism also in the description. Then people can see.
Yes,
Yeah.
I think Time Magazine awarded us as one of the top 50 places in the world that you have to visit.
Oh, really?
So we are
That,
part of that list, and we are really privileged to be part of such a small and
yeah.
unique list around the world.
Yeah. Well, Hein, have a wonderful afternoon, and hope to
Yeah.
see you in South Africa soon.
Thank you very much. Good to talk to you, and you're most welcome to come and visit. Thank you.
Thank you very much.